So you need to stay behind the golf ball with driver to hit it consistently, because if you don't do that, if you do not stay behind this golf ball, you're going to result in really weak shots popping up underneath it, so that ball might be going really high, hitting more tee than ball, and just awful strikes in the club face. So let's get into exactly how to stay behind the golf ball properly with driver, so then you can launch it, hit some good nice drives and hit better contact on the club face. So I'm Jonathan Chown with JChownGolf. Let's dive right into it. So staying behind the golf ball at impact with driver. Now, what I don't mean by that, I don't mean hanging your weight back here. I don't mean hanging your weight back on your trail leg, because that will again cause inconsistent shots and weak shots on there. So we don't want to be hanging our weight back, but we also don't want to be getting our weight in front of the golf ball. So we don't want to be getting ourselves in front of the ball like we might do with an iron, because we'll get our low point, we'll start going after the golf ball. So we'll be hitting down on it. We don't want to be hitting too far down on driver, because we could, one, really badly, we could end up going right underneath the tee, depending on our tee height. So I know a lot of you guys out there, you'll be knowing this, you tee the ball down really low, don't you? You tee the ball down really low because you're scared of going underneath it. And why you're scared of going underneath it is because you're not staying behind the ball properly with driver. So for you out there, and I know you're watching this, this is going to be you, you'll be getting that weight a little bit too far forward, and you'll be descending down on it. That's going to create spinny shots as well. So when you do make contact with it, it doesn't really go that far, does it? So not optimal for driver one bit. Now we want our low point being behind the golf ball with driver. We don't want to be back here like if we would do if we hung back with our back leg, which cause our low point to get way too far behind the ball. But we want it to get behind and ascend up on it. So we need to stay behind it, but properly. So guys, a little break in the video here to talk about online lessons on SKILLEST. So for a lot of us at the Northern Hemisphere at the moment, winter is here. So winter is the best time to work on your golf swing. So I have online lessons available. So if you want a lesson, one-to-one lesson online with myself here, you can absolutely do that on SKILLEST. So we have different options to do. You can have a single lesson, 2-lesson package, or you can also have a monthly subscription where you get unlimited lessons and unlimited contact with myself to really make the most improvement at your golf swing. And we see some extremely good improvement of players in their golf swing. Whether you've been keeping up with my Instagram account, you've seen a lot of the before and afters of my students, or even from a few videos here on YouTube, you can make some really good changes with online lessons. So if you want to work with me over that time, get your golf game to the best it can be for 2022 season, let's go in there and let's do it. So how we do this, how we stay behind the golf ball but don't hang back on our back leg, because we don't want to be going forward. We, one, have good ball position. So this is probably going to be most of you out there. Your ball position is far too far back in your stance. You need to have your ball position more forward. Now your ball position does relate to your tee height. So for me here, you can see how I've got pretty much half that golf ball above the club head of my driver here. So for that tee height, that's quite a high tee, I would then set that ball up to the inside of my left foot, maybe even just near my left big toe here. So you can see straight away, at setup now, I'm already behind the golf ball. So I could even shift a little bit now and I'm still behind the golf ball. My low point will still get behind the ball here. So that's why ball position is so important, because if my ball position was just a little bit forward of middle, or let's say middle, and I know that's a lot of you out there, you would then have to side bend aggressively to be able to stay behind the golf ball or hang the weight back. So what all of you be doing here, this will be where you'll be going wrong straight away. Ball position too far back, then naturally you're going to have a little shift in the downswing, which you will still shift with driver, just a little bit, not as much with irons. And you'll hit down and you'll pop right underneath it. It will go up there. I'm not going to demonstrate that because there's another part of the bracket up there for the net. It's going to come back down at me. So we need the ball position to be forward. Good little thing to do here, a little kind of routine to go through to get it perfect every time. Now, let's assume your tee height is very similar to this, as I'm going to want your tee height higher to be able to hit it a little bit further. We're going to need to set up to the golf ball with our 2 feet together, just like this. So you can see that ball and tee roughly in the middle of that. So what I want to do here, the smallest step with my left foot. See how small of a step that is? Smallest step. So that's my left foot done. I want a big step with my right now. behind the golf ball. Ball positions forward. Easy. I could do that on every drive and get the ball position perfect. So again, ball in the middle here of these 2 feet together. Tiny step, if at all, with the left, big with the right. You can see as well how that sorts out my shoulder tilt. Really, really good one to do here. Now, what I want to be doing, it's going to be way easier for me to stay behind that golf ball, but now I don't want to shift too hard. It's going to be hard to do that now though, with that driver or the ball position being so far forward. So I can still shift, but I still want to hit that ball nicely. So what I can imagine here, let's imagine a wall right here, outside, just outside my trail leg here. So you can see just a little kind of line going up here. Now, I can shift to where I might almost touch that wall, but I don't want to be banging into that wall in front of me. I want to be turning in the downswing, imagine that wall's there, and I want to be staying behind that wall. You can still see I'm still shifting my weight, my pressure into my left side, but I'm staying behind the golf ball. If I'm doing that, my low point is going to be staying nicely forward. Ball forward, stay behind the wall. And one other thing, extend the left leg. Extend that trail leg going up there. Because if you are coming down your downswing and you're extending that left leg, straighten it to where the whole left-hand side of your body is going up, that's going to stop you from moving too much forward. So really, as soon as you get to halfway down the downswing, snap that left leg straight. That's going to keep you behind that golf ball. That's going to keep the club traveling up. That with the ball position being forward as well, it's going to get you absolutely bombing it. So, ball position forward. Let's do the step. 1, 2, ball position forward. Imagine there's a wall here. I'm not hitting the wall. And I am now straightening my left leg halfway down the downswing. Let's give it a go. See there? Stayed really nicely behind that. That would have been a really good drive. So, let's dive into a good drill to do for this. So we're not just using purely conscious brain. So now we're using a little bit of what's called an avoidance drill. So you can see here, I've got my swing plate here. Well, I've got the extension pole with the swing plate, which really extends it out massively. So I've got that wall that we had on, that we drew on the edit there. So what we can see here, if I'm getting that good ball position straight away, now I've got a physical barrier that's going to stop me from overly shifting too much and getting in front of the golf ball. So if I shift too much, especially with my head and my upper body, I'm going to hit the swing plate here. So that's where I need to then do exactly what we talked about before. Stay behind that ball by extending that left leg, ball position forward. And I can just think here, right, I don't want to hit this at all. I don't want to do it. So I want to stay back behind that. This is going to be the best way to work on this. So let's hit one. Oh yeah, that really gives you a big sense of staying behind that ball nicely, but doing it properly, not by hanging your weight back there. So, best training aid to work with for that. It's really an awesome training aid in general. You can use it with so many different areas of your golf swing. This is just a perfect one for it. So swing plate, I have a discount code as well. Type in JChownGolf at checkout and you'll get 10% off if you want to pick up a swing plate at the website. So I'll put a link down in the description for that so you can pick one up if you want this, but it'll be the best way to work on this. So guys, what we have to do, like we said, ball position is the most important one. Tee the ball up a little bit higher, get away from that being scared of your tee height. So ball position forward. Then we want to be making sure that we have the wall or the swing plate here, but imagine a wall on the golf course just outside your lead foot. Extending up and we're not hitting that, extending that lead side as well. That's going to keep you with your weight shifting but not hanging back. So then we can hit up on it and we can hit some nice launched high drives that go at a decent distance. So if you guys who really shift way too hard, you're going to pick up so much distance from this. You really are. You're like all those clickbait titles of picking up 30 yards. Generally, some of you could pick up 30 yards from doing this video if you really shift your weight way too much forward. So you can really hit the ball miles. So if you enjoyed this video, of course, click that like button if you want more golf instruction just like this. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video. So let's get ourselves staying behind that golf ball properly with driver. We're going to be bombing it.